Welcome back. So in our last session, we discussed web servers bundles, XAMPP, WAMP, and LAMP. And I got a question that could these bundles be used offline? Well, basically, during production, the process of building your web application is usually divided into coding phase, okay, development phase rather, it's called development phase and production phase. Okay, now during development phase, you do not need to be online. You can do all your coding, write all your codes offline. Then at the production phase, you will now move online. And even production too is two parts. You have testing and production. Okay, so you have test and live. Sorry, at the production phase, you have testing, you have live. At the testing phase, the product is not yet open to the market. At that point, testers will be testing your application and bringing out possible negative feedbacks. You do not need to wait for your software to be in the market before you start to receive feedbacks. All right. So that's where you employ testers. Test these products and what do you think? What negative feedbacks are we envisaging from the public? Okay, so those testers will test your product and bring out all things they think you should improve on in the application. You go back to your development, okay, and then effect those changes and deploy back to your test. Okay, so when everything is okay, before you now move from test to live, from test to live. So there are three phases now. You have your development, you have your testing, and live. Testing and live together is referred to as production. Okay, so yes, while developing, you can be offline, but when it comes to production, you have to move it online. All right, we'll get there eventually. All right, so I'm going to show you my own instance of XAMPP installed on my system. This is my own XAMPP. Okay, this is my own XAMPP installed on my system. Well, right now I have two servers running. XAMPP is a bundle, like I already said. It's a bundle of 5 different servers. I have Apache, which is my web server. I have my SQL, which is my database server, or SQL server, which is my SQL refers to database language, right? Then aside from these two, we also have FileZilla, Mercury, Tomcat. These 3, as you can see, they are not running. Okay, but you can see my Apache is running. That's why the button is on stop. The button is stop. My SQL is also running. Let me stop this. To stop the services, nothing is running anymore. Okay. Now, each of these servers you see here runs on a dedicated port on your system. So when you install XAMPP and another application is already using any of these ports that has been dedicated for either Apache or MySQL, XAMPP will throw an error message. For instance, if I start Apache is running on what port? Port 80. Can you see it? Right? However, if there's another application on your system that has already sat on port 80 and it's already running on port 80, Apache will not run. So it's either you go and deactivate the system, and you can't change the ports that Apache should run on. You can't change the ports. So the only option is for you to go and deactivate that system or change the port, the application that's taking that place. You either uninstall it or change the port number for that application. All right, so the Apache port 80 can be free for Apache. My SQL runs on port 3306. Port 3306. That's my SQL port. Okay. So for you to install XAMPP as a bundle, you go to the software, to the website rather, Apache and Friends. Apache.org. Okay. There are several websites you can get that from. Okay, there's Apache.org. Let's get this. No, this assuming I'm installing only Apache, right? This assuming I'm installing only Apache. We want to install the bundle, remember? So, Sam, you get that on Apache Friends. Apache Friends, how you get Sam from? So, you go to Apache Friends and you download the instance of XAMPP that meets your system requirements. There are different versions of XAMPP, and the latest version is version 8, right? And you see the different requirements for that version. For instance, you have XAMPP for Windows, XAMPP for Linux, XAMPP for OS, okay? And then when you click on this, you get all the different okay, it's downloaded automatically. Click here, click on that, and you can start downloading. Beautiful. And these are the versions I'm talking about now. All the different XAMPP and their names. Okay, it's downloading already. So you do that in your system. And when you are done, you double click to install it on your system. Okay, we'll take time out now for you guys to do that. And when you are finished installing, we'll come back and continue with the class.